1, 2, 3. The crew is called Refugee.
I forgot all about that song. I thought KRS-One was dissing them.
Oh, really?
He said he had a line back then that said, "I won't make a whack album, remix it as a single." Remember that line? And it was like right around the time where the Fugees was
popping.
Well, their first album was dropping because their first album sucked.
Right, and then they took
remixed
the joint.
Vocab, and they remixed the other joint, Nappy Head or whatever. And that's when they started to get a little buzz.
Yeah,
you know, going into their second joint. Yeah. But their album was awful.
It was bad, and even on the album, those were the only 2 songs that were any good.
Yeah,
even the originals were the only 2 songs that were any good.
So I always thought he was dissing them.
He might have been.
KRS is sneaky with the distance.
I'm gonna take a whack out. I'm gonna make it for my single.
Remember that line? Run to my single and my rest my single. Got neck hip hop for the 9 single.
Right.
Yeah, the rappers
are in danger.
Yeah, that was it. That was it. Yeah, he was dissing them.
He was.
I'm convinced.
Rappers are in danger. That's funny.
Yeah, how you doing today?
I'm good, man.
Word.
Good. Life is good. My family doesn't like me.
Part of being a patriarch, my G.
They got a dog.
Without you? You mean they got a dog?
They got a dog. Like,
hold on. How do you? It's not. No, we got a dog.
No, wasn't part of the decision? A dog. I was part of the decision, but my part of the decision was just informing me that
we got a dog.
That we was getting a dog. It wasn't.
Nah, man.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's not how it works.
So in that, this was the thing. Like, okay, y'all want to get a dog? I have no part in taking care of this dog.
The problem though is that you have to clean up the shit and everything else.
I'm not. My wife is.
Yeah.
I told her too. Like,
and and it can still make your life miserable.
Hey, it's not making my life miserable. Okay. Not so far.
Is it a puppy?
No.
Or is it a grown dog?
He's pretty grown.
Man, you let him run over you like that, G?
Hey, man. I ain't taking care of this dog at all.
Like, you let him get you like that?
Hey.
Damn.
You know, sometimes you gotta let him win 1 or 2.
I mean, it's like, it's not like it's just some temporary shit though. Like,
right.
The dog's not going nowhere, dude.
Right. The dog ain't going nowhere.
you might be, your kids might move out and you still might have a dog.
Dog. I'm telling you, it's gonna be my wife's dog.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I've already dealt with this situation.
Oh, you've had this conversation.
Oh, this conversation has been had. And there's been times when the kids was like, "Oh, can I go over? Where the dog at?"
Yeah.
Either you take the dog with you or you ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. They too old to just be getting a dog. Like they've
been wanting a dog for a minute. I've been on the stern no.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Y'all don't even have, not in y'all spot. I'd be like, nah.
Yeah, it's cool. It's not bad.
Okay.
You know.
Okay, because I ain't gotta do shit.
Yeah, I ain't gotta do shit. You know, dog ain't allowed in the studio without me.
Hell no.
None of that shit. None of that.
No.
Ain't allowed in the bedroom.
Sleep in a room.
Yeah. Sleep in a room or in the cage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's how it's been.
Wow.
I mean, but she's trained pretty well. Like she listens.
Yeah.
She's housebroken already.
Yeah.
You know, so
they got you.
I got caught. I admit it, but
they got you, G.
But shoot, they on lock now because somebody got to be home with the dog.
That's
even
real.
if I'm home.
That's real.
Even if I'm home, if my wife ain't home and they like, can we go? No,
that's true. Because I'm not gonna.
I'm not watching this dog. I already told y'all.
Y'all's dog.
Exactly. That's why I said they got a dog.
They got a dog.
I don't got a dog. They got a dog.
And my family bought a dog and brought one home. And I just lived there.
Yeah, I just live there. I ain't got nothing to do with that joint. Ain't got nothing to do with it.
Why is that so funny?
Nothing to do. She be coming at me trying to give me a pet. I be like, nope.
No love.
No love. I don't give her no love.
Because they're going to try to, you know what that means. Once you start petting it, then they're going to ask you to do other shit.
Dad, can you? Nope.
Yeah, you got to keep that stern face on.
Yeah,
just that stone cold, like, ice grill forever.
Yeah. Until
they just leave you a fuck alone.
Yeah.
Like, nope.
They already know what it is. No fucking way.
That's an interesting update about your life.
Yeah,
it's been an interesting week. Yeah,
that's been my life, man.
I ain't seen you in 2 weeks, though.
Right? Yeah. So we got the dog last weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
I say this lot's been going on since it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, I was gone last week. Man.
Yeah, you was gone. You was getting your instrumental on.
Yeah, brother. I was sharing my beats with the world.
Right,
in Chicago, and it was hot fire. 5 Dylons. You know what I mean? It was Dylon.
I did hear the first block, so I'm sure we've
I hit you with some of that, and you know, all the rest of them were better. You know what I mean?
I'm sure it elevated from there.
Just,
you know.
There was one cat in the audience who was just going ape shit. He was just dancing wildly to everything I dropped after about the 10-minute point.
That's dope.
He just walked in off the street and was like,
mind blown.
Yeah, he was just feeling the vibe, man.
That's dope.
I looked down like, damn.
Nice.
This is dope. But that was dope. It was, shout out to my guy, Kevin, aka Mr. Echoes of the Opus, brought me out to Chicago last week for to play an instrumental set, a beat set, and they got a monthly called Push Beats, and it was dope. It was a good turnout. It was his album release party, so I just performed as a part of that, and I was nervous because I played last. You know what I mean? I was like, oh,
you
man.
played last.
Yes,
like not last before the headliner last.
No, last, real last.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was nervous.
I would be too.
I was like, everybody's gonna leave,
right? It's his release party. Yeah. Did he play first?
He played right before me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a schedule to. I mean, typically I wouldn't want to play in that position. I'm like, why am I playing here?
It's his release party, and he's a headliner. And
yeah. I didn't see the schedule to the day of the show, and so I was just like, I had assumed that I was playing before him. Yeah, because on the flyer, my name was underneath his.
Right. Usually that's the order of events.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna roll with it and see what happens. And thankfully, it wasn't running late. It was. I think I played at 11:30.
Oh, that's not
11:30 to 12:15, and
not bad.
We were done by 12:15, and it was dope. No one really left, so
yeah,
I held them there. No, I held them there, and I'm gonna do more of that in the future.
Yeah, he even hit me about coming possibly.
I'm
like, okay, yeah.
It's a different thing because it's like it's like
I'm sure
what we do,
right?
To translate it to that, because there's not really cats like us,
right,
in that lane,
right.
And that lane is heavy.
Right.
Very extreme.
Right.
We just make beats overall.
Yeah.
Now, I've made instrumental albums and music, so I have a little more. But even then, it's still, they're over there.
Yeah, it's a different thing.
It's a different thing.
So I'm looking forward to getting into more doing stuff like that now that I'm producing. Yeah. But,
bruh. Yeah. 2 weeks of prep.
Yeah, I ain't playing no 45 minutes though. I'm gonna have to let him know, like, yo, just hit me with 20.
Yeah, 45 is the real deal.
I'm sure. A 45-minute vocal set.
Yeah, that's long.
Like at least we got hits where we can.
we can fall back.
Yeah, we can keep people there.
Yeah, when I say, you say. Right. You don't have that when you're playing routines. Beats. Ain't no routines, brother.
Nah, it's just beats.
Yeah, and your arrangements got to be cracking. Got to be right. You got to keep it moving at a very fast pace, just to or just have your shit just flow, but it was I learned a lot, the dope part is that doing it now is like I put so much prep into that shit and now my instrumental record is like 75% done.
Hey, that's how it works.
Prior to this show, I didn't have an instrumental record.
Yeah, now it's like, oh word, all this shit works.
Yeah, this is the album. Yeah, 45 minutes.
45 minutes worth of all right.
This is it. I'm done.
Yeah.
So That was dope, and I'm gonna do more. So I don't know about 45 minutes, like you're saying.
Right.
I'll do a hot 20, hot 30, whatever. But I'm gonna start doing more beat sets. So if y'all out there listening and y'all got an event like that, Prenificence is gonna be coming back doing beat sets. I'm gonna drop my next instrumental record under a different alias or something, man.
I was thinking about doing that with mine.
Yeah, just not confuse people.
Yeah.
Especially since it's been a while since my last one. I'm just going to change the name and do something interesting.
Yeah, I was thinking about changing.
Yeah, build the brand the proper way.
Right.
Instead of confusing our existing fans. But anyways, long intro.
2 weeks of not seeing each other. That's what happens. Yeah. That's what happens.
We never do this when we see each other every week.
Right, we don't.
2 weeks, I'm like, man, what you been doing?
Right.
Man, you look different.
Right.
So I mean, shit. I mean, we're talking about production this week.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that people have mentioned to us. We've mentioned and talked about on Twitter numerous times. And today's topic was actually given to us by a fan. You know, I made a post earlier today on the Twitter machine.
The tweets.
Yes. I tweeted asking for topics. And one of the topics that came back was this. And it was basically, what are the roles and responsibilities of a record producer that go beyond making beats? That was given to us by Slaughter One.
Nice.
Slaughter WON. So shout out to you, bruh, for the topic. And it's something that we should have been talked about.
Right.
But this week we're going to talk about the difference between a beat maker and a producer. And, you know, if you are a beat maker, you need to listen to this episode because there's much more to the process. And I think this will hopefully clear up some of the confusion that goes along with this craft of making beats and producing. So we'll take a break and we'll be right back.
We got you stuck off the realness, the most infamous, you heard of us. Official podcast murderers, the show comes equipped with viewpoints to share. Grown man ideas for all those who care and want to grow, so go ahead and download. Every single week with a brand new episode. You're not alone in this world, cousin, so we share information and honest discussion and keep repping a culture like we supposed to. They spread gossip, but they never come close to. I can hear it inside their tone. They talk about the industry but never left their home. You get laced up with bullet points and such, plus empowering topics that they never would touch. You can put your whole network against the team, but Super Duty Tough Work's the MVP. Most valuable podcast on MP3. Priceless info, but all of it's free. So take these words home and think them through. Super Duty Tough Work is coming at you. You are now listening to Super Duty Tough Work with your host, Blueprint. Raw and uncut. Adult conversations. No shucking, no jiving, and no bullshit.
Back.
Those guys.
Back.
Man, we are the most infamous.
The most infamous podcast on planet Earth.
Yeah. Doing the thing, helping artists succeed, teaching the truth to the young black youth.
Yes.
In the words of Inspector Deck.
Mm-hmm.
So here we are, beat making versus production.
Word.
10 joints, hot fire joints.
Flames, all flames. Flame emojis everywhere.
Right, 10 flame emojis for this episode. That's all you're going to see in the comment section. Salute us with flame emojis. That's it. The flame salute. If you ain't flame saluting us, you don't talk to me.
Don't talk to me without flames, dog.
That's it.
No flame salute.
Start your sentence. Use the flame as an exclamation point.
Right.
No periods. Only flame emojis.
No periods.
You want to use a comma? Use a flame emoji. Or don't talk to us at all online. The only comments we accept this week for this episode.
Word.
Okay. Number one. Difference between the responsibilities of a beat maker and a producer is that a producer finds talent. When I think about this one, it's really stemming from the fact that when you make beats, you tend to allow talent to find you.
Right.
You take more of a passive approach. Hey, I've got beats for sale.
Right.
Get at me. Buy some. Here's my beat selling website. You know, I might play some beats on my site and hey, here's my album. Here's my beat tape. It's a completely different approach than a producer who is actively seeking out the dopest talent.
Right.
You know, like a producer goes to a show not thinking, how do I sell beats? But he thinks, who's the dopest artist in here?
Right.
That I should be working with.
Right.
You know, and building relationships. beat makers sometimes, because the process stops at simply making the beat, they don't really take that proactive approach to finding talent. And what we've seen of pretty much every large producer in hip hop, they all have attached their name to a super talented artist at one point or in many different eras of their career.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like look at like a Dr. Dre, who, you know, NWA to fucking Snoop, and from Snoop to fucking Eminem to Ice Cube to, you know, I mean, like I mean not Ice Cube, but I'm sorry, going blank, fucking 50 Cent.
Oh yeah,
right. So like all of these, and the same thing goes for underground artists. Look at a DJ Premier, for example.
Right.
I mean, Premier was never like, hey, I'm selling beats, get at me. But the Gangstar Foundation was built upon artists that they found, cultivated, you know, and I think that's something that separates a producer from a beat maker.
Yeah, I mean, I'm working on a couple projects right now, you know, with some people that I found, some R&B stuff. And I approached them like, yo, I'm doing this. I think you have a dope voice. I think we'd be cool to work with you. You know, you want to work. So I've been, you know, producing things and not just making beats, and actually working with the artists, teaching them how to record, because they're like fresh artists, like have never really done work before, but have talent. So I'm kind of going through that process of how to record, how to make songs, helping them write songs, things of that nature. So it's a completely different process than just being an artist or just making beats. Yes,
totally. And that's something that, you know, it takes more time,
a lot more time.
Right. And it's something where it's kind of like the A&R shit of the past, where, you know, you're almost, even if you don't have any intentions of putting out their record, as an artist, as a producer, you have to still guide that thing and put it into work, like as if you were a label or something. Like, hey, I want to work with you. You're dope. Let's start getting this thing together. But it starts with you finding talent.
Yeah.
So that's number one. The number two way and difference between a producer and a beat maker is that a producer develops the talent.
Yeah.
It's a natural follow-up to number one. As a beat maker, you have almost a transactional relationship with people. Even if you're getting paid and you're not getting paid, here's the beat, do what you will, let me hear it when it's done. Right? As a producer, you actually have to find the talent, and you have to develop the talent into something that is fulfilling its full potential.
It's more of an interactive relationship.
Totally. Like, think about when I started producing and you and I started working together.
Right.
Granted, you had been recording with your guys for a while, but your first big body of solo work was together.
Right.
And I was doing the Greenhouse at the same time doing yours. We were developing, you were developing as a solo artist as I was developing as a producer. Right. And then my relationship with the rest of Weightless allowed me to learn production because we were developing Greenhouse and we were developing, you know what I'm saying? Like everything else. But if you are just a beat maker, you're not really concerned with developing talent.
Right.
You're concerned with established talent.
Yeah. You just want the beat to be dope and the song to turn out fresh, and that's it.
Yeah. And you hope that will just happen.
Right. Yeah. You don't want to put the work in to make that happen. Yeah.
Man, I hope they make something dope.
Right.
I hope they write something cool. I hope they can record somewhere. Hey, why don't you do it?
Right.
But you won't do it because you're a beat maker. And I look at like part of developing talent is not just like, hey, let's do 100 songs. It's being able to be honest with those you work with. And honesty is one of the traits I've noticed around all of like my producer friends. Like we've been doing it a long time. So like me and Ant had a conversation a couple years back about production. And we were just talking about records and atmosphere records, and his level of objectivity just was refreshing because I don't talk to many people like that. I talk to vocalists, and vocalists will very rarely just be like, yeah, the record's cool or that song's cool, but you know, I wish I could have done this. We could have done that. We really had the potential to do this, but we didn't get to take it completely there. Producers know the strengths and the weaknesses of the artists they work with.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it's their responsibility to kind of push the artist not too far, but far enough to develop into what you see that they can truly be. So if you're strong at something and you're working with an artist who's strong with something, a producer will say, yo, you're great at that. Give me more of that.
Right.
And if they suck at something, you say, hey, that's not you.
Let's not go there.
Don't do that too much. That's not you. And that is the difference between a beat maker and a producer. See, a beat maker might not get in those conversations with people because I don't think they want to piss people off. The relationship is just transactional, and they're just like, yo, I'm not here to develop you. I'm here to get this bag real quick,
right?
And I'm gonna go back home and make some more beats.
Yeah.
And I hope this shit makes the album.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah, that's really it. That's really it. Because I mean, looking back on our relationship, there was times when you was like, "That's not the one.
Yeah,
that's not the verse. That's not." You ain't doing that over my beat. You know?
Right.
Like we have, but it was cool because it was like you didn't want your name on anything whack.
Yes.
And you wanted to save me from putting my name on anything whack.
Right.
You know, because even now I'll come to you anytime I'm putting something out.
Yeah.
I still let you listen to it. Ill Poetic. There's like I have a group of about 5 to 10 friends that I run stuff past before because I know y'all are producers and y'all will give me the honest opinion. And a lot of my growth and my development just as an artist has come from the circle of friends that I, check in with to see if my shit's dope or not.
Yeah. Yeah, that's dope. Yeah. I'm glad I could help.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Hey, man, somebody got to be the whack police.
Hey, I appreciate it. Had me out here looking crazy.
Right. You're like, yo, man.
No, that's all right.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do.
Right. That's what people say. Yeah. I mean, if you like it, that's cool.
If that's where you try to take it to.
I mean, I wouldn't do that.
But if you think that that's
I'm not gonna stop you.
Right.
You know, whatever makes you happy as an artist. Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm like, no, fam. This ain't it.
Nah, no, that's not the one.
It's not the take. It's not the verse.
Yeah.
This don't go with that. Let's just do this again.
Yeah.
Let's revisit this tomorrow.
If you feeling it.
Right. Yeah, cats be weaseling out of that critique, boy. They don't want to say shit.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's not my cup of tea. But if you dig it.
Oh, man.
I mean, hey, you never know.
Right.
To each his own. Right. Shit people say when they don't want to be honest.
It could go either or.
It could go either way. I mean, it's going to be polarizing.
Polarizing is one of those words.
Yeah. People are going to love it or they're going to hate it.
Right.
Let's just see, I guess.
Right. Just tell me it's whack.
Right. Just tell me
it's whack. I brought it to you for a reason. Just tell me if it's whack.
Just tell me it just sucks. Yeah. They don't want to tell you that shit.
Oh, that's great.
Okay, so that's number 2. Okay. Number 3, difference between a beat maker and a producer is that a producer's job is to execute the artist's vision.
Right.
Now, some people will say, well, what does that mean? Well, to me, I always view my relationship with you as it's my job to complement what your vision is for the project as a whole.
Right.
Like if I'm producing it, like Celestial Clockwork is a perfect example where I'm listening to your verses. I'm listening to where you're taking it. We're having conversations. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'd scurry off, find some records,
right.
Make a few beats, come back. What do you think of this?
Right.
Oh, that's fire. Let me put this with that. Let's put this with that. Oh, how about this with, right? And we continue this process over and over again, but it was never about me executing my vision on you.
Right.
It was never that. It was more like, okay, where do I think you're trying to take it? Taking a step back and saying, okay, well, I can see that he's on this vibe, or he's on that vibe, or he's on some slow shit, he's on some fast shit, he's on some dark shit, he's on some happy shit. Whatever your vibe was, it was my job to listen enough and then assess it and then go back musically and help you execute that as best as possible.
Yeah.
That's different from a beat maker.
Very much.
A beat maker just makes beats.
Yeah, this is what I got.
That's it.
What you got?
Choose. Pick one.
Right.
And hopefully it fits your vision. There's not this back and forth conversation between beat makers and artists as there is with a producer and an artist. A producer doesn't think the job is done until that piece of music that they're working on for that artist completely fits what that artist wants to do.
Yeah.
Like I never, and we look at, we'll use Celestial Clockwork as an example again. There was periods where we had one version of the record.
Yeah.
And then we went back and I just turned that shit up a couple years later, I think.
Yeah.
And then the final version was like, oh shit.
Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was because I knew the job wasn't done. I knew the vision that you were trying to articulate. I knew my vision was like, okay, now I know. So let me go back and technically pump this shit up, make it even more and more intense and just doper and bring it all together. But I had to execute your vision. It wasn't about, well, man, I'm just making boom bap this month. So if you don't want to make none of that, then go holler at your man down the street about some beats.
Yeah.
Oh, you want some weird shit? Nah, fam, I'm not there right now.
That's not me.
Yeah, that's not me.
That's not me. I'm not doing that.
Right. And even though that record is one of the most weirdest records in our catalogs, I would say,
right.
I never was like, I don't do that.
Yeah.
It was, I just do what.
Yeah, it was just like, okay, well, let me.
Yeah.
All right, this is what you want. Okay, I got some shit.
Yeah. Hold on.
Hold up, bro.
I'll be right back.
I think in the key to that with our relationship is that you weren't as weird as I was as far as the music that you listened to, but you was weird enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you listened to enough stuff that was out there to where you could find shit that worked.
Yeah. I'm deceptively weird.
Yeah.
Like people don't know I'm weird until records like that or chamber music.
Right.
They're like, this is some weird shit.
Right.
And the amount of people who think I smoke weed or do psychedelic drugs off of those two records is crazy. And I'm just like, no, I don't smoke weed. I wasn't doing nothing. I was completely sober when I was doing those records.
Yeah.
But they're weird as fuck. And, but I had to make sure I was executing your shit, not my shit, because I wasn't making that for myself then.
Right.
I wasn't making that kind of music for anybody else in the crew.
Right, exactly.
So that's number 3.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do number 4. Number 4 difference between a beat maker and a producer is that a producer mentors and guides the artist.
Yes.
This is something that's so much bigger than music.
Oh, yeah.
People just think that I make the beat, the artist has got it all figured out. They'll do what needs to be done on their own time, when it needs to happen. Their life will be in order. Their music and art will be in order. And this thing will magically come together and this music will magically be successful. It don't work like that.
Nah.
As a producer, you have a unique position, which is you're inside, but you're outside. Right? Because when a song ain't a song until you put your vocals on it.
Exactly.
And so I get to be inside of the process when I'm making the music, but then I get to take a step back objectively when you add your thing to it and say, oh, this is where it needs to go. This is what's going on. And as a producer, you have to take this high level approach to everything. So I always, as a producer, I wasn't just throwing you beats.
Right.
We had a vision for art as a whole.
Right.
For where we thought you need to move artistically to position yourself uniquely. And that's like marketing and branding right there. We're dealing with. Right. Personally, I mean, I know your wife. I went to your wedding. You know what I mean? I know your kids. It's like, I understood what needed to happen in terms of personally becoming a better artist and better person, all that. So like my job was never just to give you beats. I always viewed it like my job is to mentor as best as possible, this young man, so that it's not just music. Because the better I am at helping you, the better you are at executing the music.
Right. That's when the artist that I'm working with now, it's a female singer, and she's, like I said, she's never really recorded anything. And it's like, just trying to ask her, like, what do you want? Because it's my job to execute her vision. Yeah. So it's like, what kind of artist do you want to be?
Yes.
Because I'm not just going to make stuff and send it to you and here it is. Like, I need to know what kind of music you want to make, what your sound is, what your story is going to be that you want to present to the world. Because I know her personally, but it's like, what do you want to present? Because me knowing you, especially as R&B or as an R&B artist, it's a lot that you can do with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You don't really have to put all of your life out there. So it's like you can pick and choose. So it's like, what do you want to do? And it's my job to execute that and put that in a position to be successful if I end up putting the stuff out.
Yeah.
And it's, as an artist, you have to have an idea what you want to do in order for the producer to create something that represents you well. You have to be able to articulate that.
Totally. But that's very hard for young artists.
Yeah, especially artists that haven't really been in that world.
They've never thought about their career in their turn. They're just like, they look at it as a song by song thing. Is if you do meet an artist who's very young and has like their identity and their branding down, that's an exception.
Very much so.
It's not the norm. Like I also viewed it like my job as a mentor, as a producer, was also to like mentor artists on the business side.
Right.
Like it's not just to say, come record, disappear, records in stores. It was like, let me open this thing and show you how the business works. So you understand the steps of this process. So you understand recording, sequencing, mixing, mastering, duplication, distribution, marketing. You understand the whole life cycle of this thing you're creating. So you know it's not just a verse.
Right.
Like all these processes are going to start once we get this thing done. And the better I understand these things, touring, the better you understand these things, the more successful you can be.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, I mean, clearly by this podcast, we share a lot of information.
Yeah.
But I think some of that comes from me being the guy behind the label and the producer. But I always felt like the more y'all know, the better y'all can help me get the shit done and help yourself.
Yeah, because if we know as an artist, I always felt like the fact that I knew what was available to me.
Yeah.
You know, the options that I could have, how, you know, the fact that marketing and promotion and things that we did with certain records was available to me. It's like, okay, so this is what our budget is for this record. This is how much this costs. So I know that if I want to do this thing with the record, that is possible.
Yes.
Or I can look into, well, how much does this cost? Because this is really where I want to take it.
Yeah.
So let me, you know what I'm saying? Like, and as an artist, knowing that kind of stuff puts you in a better position to execute whatever vision that you have.
Yes. Yes. Because then you're not worried about things that are you know,
right,
trivial. Like, okay, yeah, I want to add this to the campaign and maybe it will cost us more, but I'm willing to do that.
But it's worth it.
Because I believe in this song. Whereas if we shut the artist out of those conversations, then they're truly not going to be, you know what I'm saying, happy with anything we do.
Right.
So it's like, yo, you want to bring them in and make them a part of these conversations because they may be cooler with sacrificing things than you know. You know, someone say, yeah, I want that fucking publicist. Yeah, I'm going to go on the road with them. I don't give a shit. I'm ready to put in some work. Yeah, let's do it. But you have to be in a position as a mentor and all different aspects to try to help them. Like I look at even like my relationship with Sadiq. You know, he wasn't necessarily a quote unquote producer, but when I look at like Adventures in Counterculture, he kind of was like an executive producer.
Right.
He and Sean, you know, Slug were basically like, as I was working on it, they were kind of helping me navigate this process because I was basically going from a situation of not putting out a record in 5 years.
Right.
5 years just being
to doing something completely different from anything you had ever done.
Yeah. And how do you find that sounded like nothing that was out.
Right.
So how do you navigate this unless you have someone with more experience to kind of mentor you, help you through it? And that's kind of the role they play for me as well.
Right.
Okay. So that's number 4. We'll take a break and we'll be right back.
Right.
What up, everybody? Blueprint here to let you guys know that all 3 of my books are finally back in stock. That means right here, What a Night. This book is back in stock. It's $10. This is a book about the worst shows in my career. That's 10. Word is Blog Volume 1 is back in stock. That's $10. And also The Making of Adventures in Counterculture. This book is about my Adventures in Counterculture album. If you have the album, you love the album, you should have a book too. That's $10. All 3 of these books are back in stock for $10 each, or you can get all 3 of them for just $25 right now on waitlist.net. That's all I got today. Thanks for your support. Peace.
We here.
The dopest. Jeez.
Yeah. It's interesting with this topic too, because a lot of dudes that are beat makers think that they producers. Is that a bar? Did I just what? Did I say that?
Yeah, you say that. Bring that back.
Did I say
Rewind
that?
select.
Rewind. A lot of cats that's beat makers think that they producers. They don't understand what a producer is.
And that also plays on why they discredit producers.
Right.
They think, oh, just because you didn't make the beat, you're not a producer.
Right. And that's the thing, like, and it's okay to be a beat maker.
Yes.
There's no harm as long as you know what your role is.
Yep.
You got to know where you stand.
Yes.
Because the producer is the one that comes in and tells you how to sequence, tells you how to change things, tells you how to fit things around the vocals. That's what a producer does.
10 of them things, man. 10 of them things. Bullet points and such, man.
Yeah, that's what a producer does. Cats like, so, you know, but whatever.
But let me tell you, what's crazy is they don't know because they've never produced and they've never been produced.
Right. Yeah.
Until you've been produced, you don't know the difference as an artist. And so these guys, because they just make beats, they've never sat in on some of these sessions with experienced producers. They've never seen that.
Right.
They've never seen that relationship and how the role of the producer. And so they just think they know what it is. It's like, no, you don't really know what it is.
Yeah, that's why when I started making beats, I always said I want to be a producer because I knew the difference.
Yes.
You know, I want to eventually become a producer.
Right.
Like I'm making beats now, and I've produced them. I've produced my album. Like I really produced it. So I know the difference.
Yes.
You know, I can just throw a loop over a drum break.
That's a beat.
And I made a beat.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I know the difference, but we'll get into it.
Hell yeah. Okay, we're back. What a producer really does, the difference between a producer and a beat maker this week. This conversation may offend some beat makers who think they are producers. That's not our goal, but if it happened, it happened. I said what I said. You know what I mean?
I
said what I said.
You know, if the shoe fit.
I'm standing on this shit, fam.
10 toes.
I'm on my square.
10 toes down.
10 toes down. You know what I'm saying? We not backing down from this shit. We wouldn't be the most infamous if we used weasel words, man.
Right.
We don't do that. So number 5. This is one that is the epitome of a lot of local people I see sometimes, man, where I talk to artists in different cities and they talk about some of them have producers they're working with, some of them have labels they're working with. And number 5 is a producer invests in the artist. And by invest, I'm talking about money.
Dough.
I'm talking about greenbacks.
Dough.
Paper.
Dough.
Skrilla. Scratch.
Know what I mean?
Gouda. Whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah.
There has to be a time when you as a producer put up money for the furtherment of whatever project you're working on with that artist.
Right.
Whereas we mentioned earlier that for a beat maker is transactional. You get paid up front, you slide off, you're out of the process until the very end, until the song's done. A producer invests in every part of the process.
Right.
That means they might pay for studio time. They might invest in gear to use specifically with that artist. They might invest in that artist having a photo shoot. They might invest in, hey, I'm going to tell my homie to come through over here and get some behind the scenes footage of us. Don't worry, I'm going to pay for it because I'm investing in you and in this project.
Right.
It's not just about being a beat maker, right? Like a beat maker would never do that shit.
Of course not.
You know, but a producer understands that, yo, it's my job to mold this thing in every way possible, and that nothing happens until you put your money up. Like if you don't invest in your art, we talk about it all the time, you're not really doing nothing.
Yeah.
Like you can't just free your way to, you know what I'm saying, success.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I'm gonna get this for free. I'm gonna get the free album cover, the free beats, the free studio time, the free photo shoot, the free website, the free tour, the free show, the free merch. No.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna get paid.
Right. I need y'all to pay me.
Yeah, I need y'all to pay me. I ain't putting no money up.
Yeah.
But I want money in my pocket.
Come on, man. He who pays the piper picks the tune. And as a producer, you need to be prepared to pay the piper, right? Because you are ultimately controlling the tune. And if you let other motherfuckers pay for all of this shit or control this shit, whoever pays has control.
Yeah.
And any smart producer knows that, man. Like, be independent enough to trust your art and put your money up.
Yeah.
If you believe in that artist and there's something that needs to be done and it ain't moving without that thing, you need to be looking in the mirror like, oh, maybe I need to do this.
Yeah.
Because, you know, artists ain't gonna do everything.
That's if you really believe in what you're doing.
If you believe in what you're doing. And that's the test.
Yeah.
Right? If you don't believe in it like that,
like, I ain't
then you just giving them a beat.
Yeah, like I ain't.
Yeah, just give them that beat and slide off.
I ain't dropping no dough on this.
No.
You need photos?
Yeah.
I know. I hit you. I cook you up with my dude.
Right. But see, the beauty, you take photos.
Right.
So you're a producer. If your R&B artist needs some photos, no problem.
I got you.
You got the shit.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I hold you down.
The investment that you made in your camera and your photography now gets to help them.
Right.
That counts as well. It's not just, I mean, your skills are an investment. You know, your equipment is an investment. Your time is an investment. You got to be ready to invest all of that.
Right. True.
So that's number 5. Number 6, thing that a producer does that a beat maker don't do is that A producer coordinates the recording sessions.
Yes.
This is like such a fundamental thing. Like if you're really producing something, if you're really guiding that project, you don't want them recording on a Radio Shack mic.
Nah, most beat makers don't have recording equipment.
Say that again.
Most beat makers do not have recording equipment.
They don't, and they don't even know why they should have it.
Right? They ain't trying to, unless they rap.
Yep.
That's the only time they actually have recording equipment. If you just make beats,
yep,
you don't got no record. You don't got no mic.
No,
not a good one.
No, and they don't even care. They're just like, why would I need that? I don't rap. I'm like, exactly, bro. This is why you can't produce anybody. No one can come to your house and make an album from start to finish.
Right.
Like that was all we did with Waitlist.
Yeah.
Y'all would come to my house, we would write, record, make albums, and put them out.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's it. Yep. I invested in that shit. You have to coordinate this shit. You have to say, okay, what do we got? These beats, y'all need to be writing to this, writing to that. I'm gonna check back in with y'all in a week or so. We're gonna see what you got. And once we feel like we got something, we're gonna start setting some dates. Y'all gonna start coming to the studio, wherever the studio may be, knocking out this shit. And from there, we're gonna start making an album.
Yeah.
Like making art, making whatever the fuck has to happen. But it doesn't start until you drive the situation. Yeah. Like a producer, you don't just get to sit back and just hope they record. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I mean, there are some driven artists.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Who will handle it, which is a blessing.
Which will call you all the time like, yo.
Yeah.
What you doing this weekend?
Right.
I'm trying to get in. I'm trying to get in. Yeah, you busy? All right, what about the day after that?
You was like that.
I was like that.
You was like that. Yeah. We
was hitting you like that all the time.
Yeah, hey man, what you got going? Hey, yeah. I'm just hanging out. Class, yeah. I mean, that's cool. Yeah, can I drop these bars though?
Right.
Okay, yeah, I got you. Come through, man.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, we was recording on weeknights.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah,
I'll
sure
pick
was.
you up, drop you back off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ain't even have a whip. I'll just scoop you.
Yeah.
Drop them shits and come back home.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, you got to be ready to coordinate that though, because like an artist doesn't know the full spectrum of production. And you as a beat maker, that's really your side of it. You should be able to say, okay, this is the recording part. This is how we get a good clean sound. This is how long it's going to take this part. I'm working on that. And that keeps everyone engaged, you know. But if you just leave everything to happenstance and chance and don't take ownership, nothing moves forward.
Yeah, it's true.
So that's number 6. Number 7. And this is one, man, this might be the biggest one on this list.
This is very important. This is the most important part of just making music, period, anyway.
Yes. The number 7 difference between a producer and a beat maker is that a producer arranges songs and sequences albums.
Yes.
Hold on. People in the back. A producer arranges songs and sequences albums.
Yes.
Album sequence, we're talking about the order of the songs, the way the songs flow between each other, how they start, how they end, making sure that no two beats sound exactly alike.
Intros, outros.
The whole nine, right? Interludes and whatnot. Like a producer sequences the album. A beat maker doesn't give a fuck. They have a song relationship with the album. As long as my song sounds cool, I'm out.
Yeah.
A producer really cares about the sequence of the album. A producer arranges the songs. A beat maker sends you a song. It's sequenced how it's sequenced. You have to write to that arrangement, and there ain't no going back.
Right.
I remember back in the day when cats were buying beats off of Madlib. I think Vast bought one off of Madlib when he did his Look Mono Hands album. And they were saying basically then that like when Madlib did beats for people, you just got a CD with the beat on it.
And that was it.
That was it. 2 track. You never got separate tracks. He never gave you like a option to change the sequencing. So if he sequences shit for,
8 bars, 8 bar verses.
8 bar verses is what you writing.
Yeah.
Right? And that's not what a producer does.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A producer would say, okay, now that you've picked that beat with the 8 bar verses,
write what you feel.
I'll sequence around you.
I'm gonna sequence around you. Right? If you feeling 16 bar verses, I'll send you a version of that beat with 16 bar arrangement, so you can actually do it. If you want to write a 32, I'll just send you the main sequence for 64 bars. Write what you feel, and then I'll go back.
Right.
And then once you record, I'll listen to what you recorded. I'll go back and I'll sculpt and mold the beat around your vocals.
Yeah.
That's your drops. That's everything. That's, you know what I'm saying? Your breakdowns. That's your build ups. A producer does that.
Yeah.
A beat maker don't do that.
Yeah.
If it's already in there, you get lucky if it's in there.
Right. You do. You get lucky.
Right? Because they're not going to go back and add that. A beat maker needs to understand, like, the job is not done when you give that person that beat because they haven't wrote the song yet.
Right.
You get it's really dope that you get to go back and mold the song around, you know what I'm saying, with their vocals. That's me and you.
Yeah, we always did that shit.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you knew every time you recorded with me, this beat is gonna sound different
right
after I drop my vocals.
Right.
And it always did.
Yeah, already knew.
You knew. But it always sounded better. Because at that point it's like, okay, now I know where you're taking it.
Right.
I can mold and arrange this beat around your song. So now the song sounds like inseparable. Like the vocals and the beats now sound like they were made to be together.
Right.
You know?
And as an artist, you have to know that that is what a producer is supposed to do.
Yes.
Because working with new artists, like the artist that I'm working with, she wrote a song and she gave me a tempo. I gave her a drum beat. I said, write to this. I was like, write to this. Just write whatever you want to write to this tempo.
Yeah.
And we'll record it and then I'll build around what you're doing.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when I do have tracks that she likes, there's certain things that she likes about it. It's like, okay, just record to it. Once we record, then I can start to add, you know, this here, drops here, new instruments, change the instrument maybe, you know, things like that. But the artist has to understand that it's not going to be this quick process. Whatever I record right now that's what it is, because a real producer wouldn't allow that to happen.
Come on.
That's not how it works.
No. They want to make sure that they're making the best song possible. And you can't do that if you don't get to make that beat cater to that artist fully. And I'm notorious for giving cats a loop.
Oh yeah.
You know,
exactly. That's where I learned it from.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, you got this loop, right to this.
Yeah.
Once we record, you'll see the magic.
Yeah, exactly.
Once we record it, the magic will come.
Yeah. And if you like the loop enough to write to it, then everything gets easier, right? It's just no need for me to like kill myself coming up with changes and shit when no one's even heard the shit yet.
Right.
It's like, let me get this to you and see what you think. And I hear what you do to it. Like, okay, cool. Bam. But yeah, you have to arrange songs and sequence albums. That's number 7. We'll take a break and we'll be right back. What's up, everybody? The deal we're running today on Weightless.net is the 2-Headed Monster CD plus 2-Headed Monster t-shirt for just $20 total. That's the t-shirt and the CD for $20 total. The t-shirt we have in every size. That's small, medium, large, extra large, and 2XL. Every single size, men's sizes. We ship internationally, so you can get the CD and the t-shirt, or I should say CD and the t-shirt for just $20 on Weightless.net. Go there right now and support the movement. Thank you. Peace.
We back. Those dudes.
They know. They know who it is.
They know.
They know what it is. They know what it is. They know what it about. You know what I mean? Pull up with that thing. Well, they know what it is. Hopping out that thing on them. No, I had no idea what it is. Oh yeah, that's what it is, fool.
What did he say?
That's what it is.
What the hell is he talking about?
This is another language. Okay, the difference between a producer and a beat maker. Man, this is a great episode, if I do say so myself.
Good stuff.
Hopefully people will learn, listen, and if it don't hit you now, it'll hit you later, you know. Listen to me now, believe me later on
in the future.
So number 8 difference is that producers inspire and encourage.
Yes.
If you think all you got to do is give somebody a dope beat and the song is done, boy, are you wrong. You in for a rude awakening, because you are dealing with
artists.
Yeah.
And boy, are we a funny bunch.
We are some moody motherfuckers.
Come on now.
I ain't in the mood. I ain't inspired to write.
Come on. We say that so much.
I ain't feeling it today.
Not right now. Maybe next month.
I ain't in the mood.
Yeah, I'm just feeling a little off balance right now.
Yeah.
I just can't really get into the artistic space.
Yeah. That's some artist shit to say.
You know, so many things going on in the world right now. My vibe has been broken. I'm just losing the vibe. It's like, yo, your job as a producer is to inspire and encourage.
Yeah. Do you write? Are you a writer?
Yes.
Then write. Exactly. Something's wrong, write about it.
Write about it. Oh, you mad at the world? Write how you're mad at the world.
Exactly.
Oh, you're mad at your girlfriend? Write about it. Got dumped? Write a song. Broke? Write about it. Got evicted? Yes. Make a chorus. Sit down. Get a friend to join you on the I Got Evicted song.
Right.
I don't give a shit. Keep writing.
Exactly. That's what it is.
You know, that counts as encouragement.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
You know, you need to also be able to inspire artists by letting them know what is to come.
Yeah. Like, this is what we're going to do. This is the plan that I have.
Yeah.
You know, so on and so forth.
Yeah. Like, what is on the other side of all this hard work? Why do I need to work through the times when I'm uninspired? You know, as a producer, you need to tell motherfuckers what they're building. And if you can't articulate that,
right,
you ain't no producer yet.
Yeah. Especially if they don't know, if they've never been through that situation. If it's something new, because we were all learning together.
Yes.
But we knew there was a goal.
Yes.
That we were working towards.
Yes.
And we all believed in that. So it wasn't hard. Yeah. That was it. Basically.
Make a tape.
It was like, all right, we're going to do some songs and put the shit out and see what people think.
Yeah.
I mean, that was it.
That's it.
And we bought in.
Yeah, we worked towards it. No one was there. But, oh yeah, cool. Because we don't have a tape and we don't know anyone with one.
Right.
Okay, we'll do that.
Yeah,
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, you got to be able to summarize that shit and inspire artists, because you're not just dealing with normal people who wake up and go to work regardless because they get paid for it.
Exactly.
You're dealing with artists who create when they're inspired, as you said, when they're feeling it. And sometimes if they're not feeling it, you have to be able to encourage them to go through it, even though they ain't feeling it.
Yeah.
So yeah, inspire and encourage.
Yeah.
You know. Also inspire them through music.
Yeah.
Give them some fire.
Yeah.
You know,
or just tell them like, oh, I was listening to this new artist that, you know, and I was thinking about you. Check this out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That counts.
That helps a lot.
Yes.
You know, it's like, listen to this. Listen to some of your favorite artists.
Yes.
That may inspire you. Find some new artists. You got Spotify, you got Apple Music.
Yep.
Put in artists that you like and go to the artists that are like those artists and see if that inspires you to hear a new voice.
Yes.
You know, shit like that.
Yeah.
Is immense. I mean, it helps me still.
Oh, it's true.
All the time.
Bro, I remember when, you know, we've talked about it before on this podcast, like when I first heard Freestyle Fellowship on AC Alone's album.
Oh, yeah.
And that song, B-Boy Kingdom. And I remember I just was sitting there like, yo. I took that song.
We got some work to do.
Yeah. I took that song to everybody in Greenhouse like, yo.
This is what cats are doing.
You're going to listen to this. And I don't want to hear nothing while this shit is playing. I'm going to play it a couple times. I want you to listen to what these guys are doing with their voices. And we're going to have a conversation about this.
That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you are supposed to do. If they're not doing it themselves,
yeah,
that's your job.
Because at the end of that song, everybody was just like, whoa. All of us were like, whoa.
Yeah.
We've never heard anybody have such control over their voice. And we're like, we want to be like that. We want that kind of control, that kind of just like texture to our voices. And that then all of a sudden it's easier to inspire people to work.
Exactly.
To practice.
Exactly.
To keep writing, to keep recording, because they know they're shooting for something. But you have to let them know, like, hey, this is worth it. And inspire them to keep going.
Straight up.
That's number 8. Number 9. Difference between a producer and a beat maker. A producer has a plan. A producer has a plan. A beat maker just makes a beat. His friends might hear it, might make a little YouTube video for it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It starts and ends there. A beat maker is different from a producer in that a producer looks at a beat as something that needs to be produced that ultimately will be a part of something much bigger.
Exactly.
An album, an EP, a single, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't stop at the beat.
Right.
For a beat maker, it's just about the beat. I made a dope beat. You heard it. Move on to the next one.
Yeah.
A producer has to think about where this thing they created fits into the whole spectrum of music. And as a producer myself, I make music that sometimes I'm like, this doesn't resonate with me, but I know it's dope.
Yeah, exactly. I do it too.
Right.
I do it too.
I might not write anything to it, but I'm going to keep this because this mood, this vibe, somebody needs it.
Right.
And when I meet that person or that person's working on that project and an opportunity presents itself, I'll be prepared.
Right.
I'm thinking long term about the music I'm composing, even if it's not for me.
Right.
You know, the plan is to get the music out, get the music heard. And even sometimes we can make a beat for ourselves. We listen to it. It don't hit us.
No.
A year later, it's the shit.
Banger.
Yeah. I need that. Wrote to it immediately. Wrote a song in 30 minutes, recorded it. This is fire. On the next album.
Right.
It happens.
It happens all the time.
Life changes, our taste changes, you know, but as long as you're moving along a place where you know that it's part of the process, you're good. But if you look at it like, oh man, this is just a beat, you might feel better about throwing it away. You might not be thinking long term, and you might not even care about having a plan for how your music fits into something bigger.
Yeah. Now when I make beats, I'm always like, okay, this is the beginning of it, you know, and right now I'm working on putting an instrumental project together, and I'm going through all of my beats to see what I want to actually produce.
Yep.
You know, because I already know, like, okay, this is the basic beat. You know, it got a couple changes in it here and there, so I can see where I can take it and if I can take it further or not.
Yes.
But that's the process that I'm going through right now, is going through all of the beats that I have, and even the beats that I make. It's like, okay, I want to do something more with this later.
Yes.
But I have the basic idea, the foundation of the beat is there.
Yes. Yeah. I'm at the same way with my instrumental shit,
Yeah.
where it's like, I'm a step ahead only because of that thing I did last week.
Right.
Forced me to produce like 15 to 20 jams in 2 weeks.
Right,
so I was just getting busy. So now I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I can just add 1 or 2 little things to these and they'll actually be full songs. So now I'm in that next phase, which is like, okay, now it's a dope 2-minute piece. Let me add some shit that makes it an ill 3-minute piece.
Right.
You know, but yeah, that's production. That's not beat making, man. That's not beat making. And so you got to have a plan. That's number 9. Last joint. Number 10. A producer finishes music. A producer finishes music.
What exactly does that mean, Print?
That means that not only do you start music, which is easy,
Right.
you take music to its completion point. You finish your ideas fully. You allow the artists you work with to finish songs that are available, sometimes for free, commercially, whatever the fuck. You do not become a black hole for music.
Right.
Because when you become a black hole for music, you're not a producer anymore.
Oh, no.
You can have mad terabytes of beats on your fucking hard drive. That doesn't make you a producer.
Right.
You're making beats when the music starts coming out. That's some production shit, because you know, before it's ready to be released, it's gotta be produced.
Yeah, you gotta go through it. You gotta put the drops. You gotta put the changes. You gotta arrange it. You gotta put the sequencing. You got all that shit.
Gotta be produced.
Gotta be done.
Gotta finish it. Beat makers don't necessarily see that completely. And I think they just haven't been through that process. But if you're not finishing music, how can you truly call yourself a producer? Nothing comes out. Yeah, I'm into production. Are you into production, or are you just making beats?
Right.
Production means finishing.
That's the thing. Cats don't know. They don't know the difference. Cats don't know the difference, man. They don't. They think just because you got machine and a laptop, you a producer. And it don't work that way. Just because you want Fruity Loops,
yeah, you make beats, bruh.
It don't mean that you a producer. You got some loops and some drums, bruh.
That's it.
That's it.
And that's cool.
And it's cool.
We all got that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
If that's but know your lane.
Yes.
Know where you at with it.
Know where production ends. You know what I'm saying? Know where beat making ends and where production starts.
Exactly.
That's the biggest thing. Like, okay, beat making starts here, stops here. Production starts here, ends there.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not the same.
Yeah.
They both have different responsibilities. And if you don't finish the shit you start, then you're not really producing.
Yeah.
You know, keyword produce.
Yeah, that's why there's executive producers, because they may not make the beat.
Yes.
But they help out with the arrangement.
Yes.
They help out with the sequencing of the album. They help out with sessions,
guest features,
all of that stuff.
The money.
All of that stuff.
Yeah.
All of that stuff.
Yep.
You know, like I executive produce Capture the Sun. All of the intros, outros, all of the features, all of the, like, I put the record together.
Yeah.
I did, like, there's even stuff that I added to certain beats, that like background noises and things like that, just to add to the atmosphere of the album. Like, I executive produced that record. I didn't produce it. Blockhead made the beats.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I told him how to sequence things, all of that stuff. So, like, I didn't necessarily make the beats, but I was part of the production process.
Yes.
And that's when I knew I'm going to be a producer one day.
Yeah.
Making that record, I'm like, this is what production is.
It is.
I just didn't sit down and put the beats together, but this is what production is.
Right. Right. So that's it, folks.
That's it.
Man. The difference between a beat maker and a producer. Let me read these back for y'all. Number 1, find the talent. A producer finds talent. Number 2, a producer develops talent. Number 3, a producer executes the artist's vision. Number 4, a producer mentors and guides the artist. Number 5, a producer invests in artists. Number 6, a producer coordinates recording sessions. Number 7, a producer arranges songs and sequences albums. Number 8, a producer inspires and encourages. Number 9, a producer has a plan. And number 10, a producer finishes the music.
Facts.
Bing, bang, bong. Okay, that's it for this week.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Peace.
Burge.
Thank you for listening to Super Duty Tough Work. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Follow the podcast on SoundCloud. Peace.
Shoot, I got styles already that's more complex that nobody know about. I mean, Super Duty Tough Work.